G'day, 22nd of April 2026. We have arrived Wednesday afternoon. This is George Louis here with another presentation of a message of hope. Yesterday I spoke about an 8-year-old. Today I'm going to talk about an 81-year-old. So buckle up your seats. Yes, this 81 years old, still clocking on every shift. So she was working. Her name is Nola Carpenter. Not related to Karen Carpenter. Now, for more than 20 years, she worked as a cashier at a Walmart in Hackettstown, New Jersey. Maybe I'll visit that place one day. Her husband had been injured and couldn't work, but they still have their marriage, right? Unfortunately, the mortgage still needed paying. So, obviously, Nola showed up for work. Well, not too long ago in 2022, a young man named Devon was working the same store. And one day he walked into the break room and found Nola there alone, resting between shifts, all alone. So he took out his phone, filmed a short video and posted it with a single caption, "Life shouldn't be this hard." Like the internet would do, 30 million views. Wow, now that's what I call viral. Then Devon launched a fundraiser within GoFundMe. And within days, I'm not talking about weeks, just days literally, the internet had raised $186, I beg your pardon, worth of dollars for a woman it had never met. But the good news, it was enough to pay off her mortgage. In fact, enough to let her retire. God bless her. And I do find that genuinely moving. Not that I need it, the mortgage payment, that is. But there is a second part to this story. I have to think Walmart management and Devon's employer were not happy. That's what's been reported. They asked him to take the video and the fundraiser down. So they suspended him. And Devon said no, he wasn't prepared to do it. He wasn't planning to stay at Walmart anyway. Okay, before I say what I think about that, I want to mention something here about a human problem I recognize very clearly in myself. Because the easiest thing in the world, yes, when you've been wrong, is to let the emotion make the decision for you. So you've got to be very careful here with the emotions. You know the feeling. The situation hands you an opportunity to respond. And the emotional response is right there, fully loaded. It knows exactly what it wants to do, and it feels completely justified at that moment. Now, I have had moments in my career where my emotional response made the call before wisdom got a word in. Not every time, thankfully. Where I was so thoroughly done with a place, or a person or a situation that the exit mattered more than the manner. Where I told myself the grievance justified whatever came next. Yeah, it probably did, but that's not actually the question. The question is whether justified and wise are the same thing. In my limited experience, they often aren't. Oh, and if this channel is useful to you, please subscribe to this channel. There's a fresh message every single day, and I'd love to have you back. So give it a thumbs up and share this message far and wide. You'll help the algorithm too. You'll be helping others. Okay, so again, here's my favorite part. I'm going to talk about the Bible verse. And here's what the apostle writes in Galatians chapter 6, verse 10. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of the faith. As we have opportunity, let's stew on that. The phrase is doing more work than it looks like. Not whenever the emotion compels you, and it's not however feels right in the moment. As we have opportunity, which implies the wise steward recognizes the moment. Then he weighs it and responds with discernment. Discernment is a wonderful gift. I pray that all of you have it. You're going to need it for the rest of your life. So pray for that for me as well. So it's not due to impulse, not out of spite, and not the first thing that arrives in the chest. You might get angry, right? Now, we tend to think of stewardship narrowly. Okay, I've been guilty at times. I'll probably limit to the tithing, the giving, the budget. Yes, those things matter. And I believe that deeply, and I've built this whole channel around helping Christians handle money well. Okay? But the stewardship Paul describes here, that's wider than any of that. It's the stewardship of every moment where you have the capacity to do good, and the choice of whether you do it and when and how. Right? You have that power. Opportunity management, it's in itself a form of stewardship. Now back to Devon. I'm not going to condemn him. What for? He was a nice man. He saw an elderly woman being grounded down by a well with no room for dignity, and he asked 30 million strangers to do something about it. And they did, magnificently. And that's a beautiful thing, right? But at the same time, wisdom asks for a question that courage doesn't always stop to ask. Devon disregarded his employment terms. He made a decision affecting someone else without asking her first. He handed Nola's story to the internet. And on this occasion, it worked out extraordinarily well. But I found myself wondering, when he applies for a job down the track and a potential employer finds that story, what do they see? Because people are using the internet more and more to filter out people. A compassionate man, yes, I think they'll find that. But also someone willing to do the unexpected when he feels strongly enough about something. Now, maybe that's a price worth paying, maybe. I'm not saying it isn't. But there is a price. And stewardship weighs the price. So, I have to tell you, I have my own version of this, but much smaller, less grand, and nobody filmed it, of course. You see, my company had put a date in writing, which is my last day of employment, due to retrenchment. It's been signed, documented, and done. Yes. And I'll be honest with you, I was looking forward to it. I had grown genuinely unhappy at that place. And I was done. And there was a clean ending in sight, and I was not sorry to see it arriving. Nah. Then my manager came to me and said he needed me for 3 more weeks. Even though I said we should have 4. Things would fall apart without me because there was no one there to stabilize handover, I suspect. Like I said, that's only my suspicion. He told me that when my peer comes back from holidays, he needed time to settle. Sure. Now, my first instinct was not spiritual, wasn't generous. It was just something much closer to, you put the date in writing, okay? I'm holding you to it, and if things fall apart when I leave, that is your problem, and it's not my problem. Now, that response felt entirely justified, you can say. And I want to be honest about how good it felt, the way the small acts of retribution sometimes do, right up until you actually have to live with them. So I asked God for wisdom. I asked him earnestly, and he gave it to me. So I agreed to the extra 3 weeks. Not out of the warmth towards the place, not because I've forgiven everything, but because when I looked at the situation clearly, just a few more weeks of salary would be genuinely useful anyway. And leaving him on scorched earth serves no one, including me. So why would that benefit me? Yes, I swallowed my pride. I showed up, I did the work, and left the place properly. Swallowing pride, let me tell you people, is an underrated financial strategy, by the way, and in life. But here's the thing I don't want you to miss. The 3 extra weeks were not a compromise of my principles. I don't see it that way. They were an expression of them. Because stewardship, real stewardship, begins with the acknowledgement that the moment doesn't belong to you alone. No, God is bigger. It belongs to God first. So again, have a listen to the Galatians passage again. As we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone. The first time it sounded like instruction, doesn't it? You act, you step up, find a moment and take it. And it is that, yes. But here the restraint in it too. As we have opportunity, you see, opportunity isn't manufactured many times. It's recognized and received. The steward's job is not to create the moment, but to handle the one in front of them well. Now, Devon handled his and Nola handled hers. And here's the part I respect the most. So when the fundraiser succeeded, good on them. When she had the money to leave, actually, Nola worked through the holidays before she retired. I mean, think about it. She could have gone home. She could have had the means. She stayed here anyway. She stayed at work and finished the job. Nobody filmed that part, did they? 30 million people did not watch it, but God did. My friends, I suspect you're sitting in the moment right now. Maybe it's in a working relationship that has gone wrong and you got the opportunity to respond. Or maybe there's an exit coming and you're deciding how to leave. Maybe someone needs your help and the cost is real and the wisdom of the timing isn't obvious. So, the question I want to leave you isn't whether to act, it's this. Have you asked God about it? Because you know in my channel, I'm a big supporter of going to God and ask for His wisdom. So it's not about your grievances, not your instinct, not what feels satisfying, but it's about Him, the mighty Jesus. And because the stewardship and the real stewardship begins the moment you acknowledge the moment, isn't only yours to decide. Remember, Nola worked through the holidays quietly without a camera, and she left when the time was right. One shift at a time. She stewarded what she's been given. And that is a picture that will stay with me. Not the viral moment. The one nobody filmed. Continue to be a lovely day here, guys. Thanks for being with me. I really enjoy these walks and have a chat with you. Hit me in a comment if there's something else that you want to see. And take care. Until the next video. Bye-bye.